Okay.
So once again, what's in it for an organization to have resilient folks, right? So they actually put you here today. Friendly, flexible, focused. This is what they say out of Harvard. Here's, if you take a look at this, we've already talked about a lot of these. So it's great because all of your introductions and the way that you showed up here today pulled out of me and each other, I think, an even better introduction than I've experienced before. So thank you for that. And we got a lot out on the table. So we'll be able to move through some of the material even faster today. But stress hardiness, this is how the program is structured. Stress hardiness is about body, mind, and spirit. You are a holistic person. You're not just your body, you're not just your mind. And it's how ready are you? How at ready? Are you taking care of yourself in such a way that you're ready for when things come at you? You ever seen how a martial artist deals with things? Right? You know, they've got awareness around them 360 degrees. And I'm reminded of the man who, do you remember when the airplane went down in the Hudson?
Yeah.
This one man saved so many people and was able to get them out or pull them out of the water. And basically, you know, he said, they said, what was the most important thing that you learned from this? He said, that I was healthy and well enough and ready. I had taken care of myself well enough, so I was ready to turn around and help so many other people. You never know when you're going to be called on. It was really like, wow, that was really cool. Understanding, it's just, how are you receiving what's going on? Again, what are you telling yourself? And can you adapt how you're seeing the situation? Can you look at it from a different perspective if the way you're looking at it isn't helpful? Martin Seligman, right, the positive psychology guy, you guys know him? He's done a lot of wonderful research, and he talks about if you think something is, you might want to write this down, it's interesting information. If you think something is the 3 Ps, you're in trouble. Personal, prevalent, and permanent. Yeah. If you think what you're experiencing is personal, prevalent, and permanent, you start to go down. If you can take perspective and step back from that and think, okay, maybe it wasn't as personal as I experience it. Maybe it's not happening everywhere in my life, only right here in this area, right? And maybe it's not going to last forever, right? These things start to lift us out of times when we're in hardship. Purpose and meaning, why are you here? That's when I asked that question, did you notice a quality in the room change when I said, okay, it's good you want to grow, but why? This will be your why. What's your purpose? What gets you up in the morning? You know? And it's simple but profound, and it's in you. So we'll do a little bit of thinking about that. Perseverance. Some of you already said one of your greatest strengths is persistence and persevering. So this is be able to stick to it, and no matter what. And then optimism. Again, how are you viewing the situation? Can you take a more positive view? Resourcefulness. Who do you have around you? What do you have? Do you have enough money in times of challenge? Do you have enough support in times of challenge? Do you have a supportive infrastructure in your life if you get sick for a few days? You know, do you have a soft place to land? What are your resources? Teamwork. And so it's interesting that a lot of these things came up here. It's like, I want to be better at that. And if you are, they'll help you be more resilient. And so, anybody here ever talk to themselves? Did anybody just say, talk to myself? What do you mean talk to myself? That's the voice I'm talking about. Okay. You ever notice that there are a couple different voices sometimes going on inside of us? It might have something to do with that doubt thing you were talking about. They say there's, actually, can you read that out loud? May, right? Yeah, thank you. Just some of the negative.
The naysayers, the grumblers, the judgers, the blamers.
Egoic mind, yes, exactly. Good, great. And then Kim, can you read the positive?
Higher self, inner being, divine wisdom, essence, and spirit.
Wait, slow down with these. Yeah, really milk those. Those are good. Say it again.
Higher self, inner being, divine wisdom, essence, and spirit within.
I just start breathing more easily. I hear those. So, the point of this course, and you can take a look here, you know, and you can open your workbook, and you'll see that basically this goes on, yeah? In all of us, we've got the inner cynic and the inner dreamer and the positive one. So they like to say that this is really what's more true. This is what's more true. So we're gonna notice this, not ignore it. We're gonna notice it. Thank you for sharing, and we're gonna see what we can do to infuse this part of our being. They say we've got like 70,000 thoughts a day run through our mind. The problem is, about 99% of them are the same as yesterday. And so we get these well-worn ruts in our brains, and we go, okay? The little gremlin going after us, right? And so just, again, starting to notice when that's working on you. And this might be a new muscle. And you know when you start going to the gym, right? It hurts. It can hurt. Right, exactly.
Is the egoic mind the why me?
The why me?
Yeah, is that the same thing?
Sure, that works. Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, the ego thinking I'm the all important one and it's happened just to me and I'm alone, and yeah, and so that, yeah. You guys, is it harder or easier to is it harder to break a habit or make a new one?
Break the habit.
All right, how many people say?
Is that harder?
Well, is it harder to break an old habit or create a new one? Who says it's harder to break an old habit? Okay, look around. Who says it's harder to create a new one? Okay, all right. You want to answer?
Yeah.
It's not very easy to break an old habit, right? It's easier to just create a new one. So we just want to notice what some of the old habits are, not make ourselves wrong, but see if we can just take a new action in that moment, and this moment, and the next moment, because it's all we got. Not next week, just now, in this moment. So, and you'll find yourself living more from here. So that's the point there. And another way to put it is speak more from the head, again, what we're hearing, versus operating more from the heart. Is that familiar to anybody here? No? Okay. All right, so we might get a little experience of that. Let's do that real quick, okay? If you would, please go ahead and just get yourself comfortable, put everything down. Just gonna ask you to get comfortable, have a nice breath. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes, whatever it is that you wanna do. And I'm just gonna ask you to bring to mind a situation that's been causing you some challenge. And I want you to notice what you notice about it. Notice what you think about it. Notice any people that are involved, any players. Notice any frustration or difficulty, or notice your body, hands, your heart, your chest. And then make that, let that just magnify itself. Make that even worse for a moment. Tell yourself something terrible about it. And imagine it not working out well for you. Notice how that feels. Notice what you're thinking, what you're telling yourself. And now have a nice, deep breath. Notice if you're able to breathe very easily, just let that go for a moment. Let your concerns drop. Have another nice deep breath, and drop your awareness into your heart. Let yourself feel the whole area around your heart. Feel warmth around your back. And just imagine just placing this situation in your heart. And imagine preceding yourself, going before yourself, and imagine it working out in a way that you could imagine would be best for all players. Have another nice deep breath. And just maybe make a wish, or just send a good thought to any others, anybody that you might need to forgive, yourself, or something. And then just take your hands and rub your hands together if you would, and make them nice and warm. Rub those hands together, make your palms nice and warm, and then just place them right over your eyes for a moment, and just look into the darkness for a second, and let the peace wash over you. And just press the reset button, have a nice breath, and just be calm for a moment and enjoy that. And place trust, raise your trust and reduce your fear, and just be back in the room. Okay? Did anybody notice anything that you'd like to share? How was that? Please.
Calmer,
Pardon me?
I'm calmer.
Calm. Yeah.
Then I do this every night to be able to sleep.
Nice, yeah. So you actually notice your attention going from your head into your heart.
Otherwise I can't sleep.
Otherwise you can't sleep. Okay, great. Okay. Is that surprising to anybody? Could you feel your energy up here and then the energy move down here at all? And was it helpful or weird, or what did you notice? Anybody else? What's that? Yeah, you wanted to put your feet up? Right, you started to get comfortable. Okay, okay, good. Good. Okay, did anybody see a potentially more positive outcome, or have any kind of more hope rise, or just anything that you want to take forward? Yeah.
I feel a sense of calmness.
Okay.
Once I open my eyes, looking sleepy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's right. We're going to get you going again. Thank you. Anybody else a little sleepy? Yeah, it starts to make you aware
Yeah.
that
And
we're
a
not
sense of
always.
optimism.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're often focused out here and again solving the problem.
Yeah.
So again, this is your retreat. That was part of it. Okay, little inner spa. Okay.
It also made me nervous though, because I realized how often my mind is whirling, because for that minute, not having like little bees just constantly buzzing, so that was just odd, because I was anxious, like, what if I'm getting something or I should be doing something? So it was weird at first, it was like, what?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird at first, exactly, and then to just let those,
Right.
let that settle. So uncomfortable, awkward, strange, and this is what you're being asked to guide your employees in, because they're used to buzzing around like bees.
Right.
And now they're being asked to take the longer view. And they don't have to go crazy in the moment. And it's like, really? They can settle. So, and that'll be uncomfortable and awkward. So you got your arms folded, right? Hold your arms, please. Okay? Good. Now would you please fold them the other way? Try that, okay, good. What's that like? Okay, go back to the other way. Right? Okay, that's like what? That's like,
This is what I'm used to.
yeah. Okay, now fold it the other way, please. Okay, what did that take? What's that like? What's that like?
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable, what else?
Can't figure it out.
Can't figure it out. What? Restrictive,
Yeah.
okay, right. And what do you have to do?
Think about it.
Thank you. We don't necessarily like to have to do that, right? 70,000 thoughts a day, 99%, same as yesterday, like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the way we sit, like the way we go, get up in the morning and shuffle around. Okay, so it's like, what is it to bring awareness to those things that we have, ingrained? And again, as leaders, we're creating a new environment for people to see if they can try something a little uncomfortable and awkward. And ultimately, was it a good experience for you?
It was.
That's good, good. So every little thing we do in here will be another tool potentially for you to take home. There's nothing that's not a sleight of hand in here today, okay? Really, every little thing we're doing, the way that I ask questions, because I have so many years of training, I'm not like saying this from an egoic self, but it really is true. The way I ask questions, the way that I'm present with you, whatever you notice, whatever you like, take it, okay? The way that we do a little activity or exercise, the way that I might step forward and, suggest a little piece of research or a model, that's all for you to put in what the Native Americans call their medicine bag. And they keep it close to their heart. So you're gonna notice, what's your style? Do I like things that are more body oriented? Do I like things that help me think differently? Do I like things that look differently? So I'm either a more visual learner, more kinesthetic, or more, I like to hear, I need a message. Like I'm very auditory, so like starting at like 5 in the morning sometimes, I'll put something like a little meditation in my ears. I'm like, oh, it's such a nice way to wake up. They're saying nice things to me for like 2 hours. It's beautiful. Okay, so the voices. So voices, yeah, don't believe everything you think, right? Remember The Perfect Storm, this movie? I'm about to get you in an activity where you're going to start to think about what's your perfect storm. Exactly, the oceans being exactly the way they were, the place that they were, the winds that put them in a very rough situation. Very curious about how is this defined in your situation. So take a peek here in the book. So your company's perfect storm. And I want you to start to think about examples. This is page 6, is it?
Yes.
Okay. So as a table, if you would please discuss this, and let's just take about literally 4 or 5 minutes, just to like brainstorm as much as possible. What's going on regarding, people's ability to focus? What's happening among the support for the staff, turnover, satisfaction, isolation, all of that. And then I'm going to ask you to turn and write down your own personal stressors, okay? So first, 5 minutes at the table if you would, please. Dive in. And please take notes in your book. As a group, at your table.
Looking for terms that kind of define.
Yeah, you're brainstorming right now. All you're doing is saying, what are you noticing? What are you noticing about your company's perfect storm ingredients. What's, not your company, but your organization. What has, like the changeover with the dean, what has gone on lately? Here, it's the winds and the water, okay? But for you, it's the same. It's changed your climate. What are those changes? Well, the wind changes. Is the water wild? Is the boat not built very well? Or it's a beautiful boat, but it's impersonal? You're not used to it, whatever it is, okay? Just talk about what are those major changes that you've noticed. They give you some examples, the economic pressures, whatever it is. And then continue all the way through the end of 7, together as a table. And so you got 5 minutes to do that, and then you'll spend a couple minutes on your personal, on page 8, on your personal stressors, okay? Dive in, thanks.
It's beautiful.
Right.